Pull over.
What's up, squad? It's your boy Knockout360 here with another video for you guys. So YouTube call out was a huge success, man. I had a great time and I'm glad I brought you guys with me. I got to meet a couple of you guys, man. It was cool. Like it's just crazy to, do videos on YouTube and people recognize you in public, and it's like, you almost feel like, something important, man. But in all honesty, I really appreciate all of you guys for rocking with your boy as long as you have, and I appreciate you guys for coming out to the meet and having a great time and talking to me and whatnot, man, because I definitely had a blast. As you can see, I got a good little tan. So, I'm good for the summer events from now on, man. I got my summer tan, I'm good to go. The purpose of this video, man, is basically about what happened to me after or on my way home from the YouTube call out, right? So I'm on my way home from the YouTube call out, everything's going good, and I'm hitting it on the highway. I'm doing a speed limit, man. We were messing around a lot going down, and you saw that in the video. But as far as coming back, I mean, it was just me and my guy Ed in the 300, and we were just chilling. We were just chilling. Wasn't doing anything crazy or nothing like that, doing the speed limit, just chilling, trying to get home, right? So I'm in Huntersville, North Carolina, coming to Charlotte or whatever. And Huntersville, for you guys that are in Charlotte, is literally like a skip and a hop. Depending on what part of Charlotte you live in, it's a skip and a hop. For me, it's all of 10 minutes up the street. Like, I'm about to go to Huntersville right now, as a matter of fact, to get some Zaxby's, just because of how close Huntersville is to Charlotte, right? So I'm in Huntersville, North Carolina, man, and I'm on my way home, and I stop at a light and the police officer pulls up next to me. I didn't think anything of it, man. Everything's legal in my car, for the most part. Everything's legal in my car, my inspection, my everything, my tag, my sticker's up to date. I haven't been doing any speeding, especially in Huntersville, because if you know anything about Huntersville cops are like all over the place, and they're just waiting to get you. You know what I'm saying? That's one city that you don't play around with, to be quite honest with you, just because every time I've ever been in Huntersville, I've always seen a police officer at some point or another. So I know not to play around. They all drive Chargers too, so I mean, of course they recognize me driving this big red machine here. But so I'm in Huntersville, man, and I'm at a light, and this cop pulls up next to me, man, and it's a cop from Belmont, North Carolina. Now, once again, for you guys that's not familiar with Belmont or North Carolina in general, Belmont's a completely different city. That's like going towards Gastonia, North Carolina, maybe a little bit further up or a little bit closer to, I'm not sure, but it's going that way. So in truth and honesty, this cop had no reason being in Charlotte or Huntersville, North Carolina. Maybe he was on business, whatever the case may be. But he pulls up next to me or whatever, and I see that he's from Belmont, so I immediately kind of, wash off any idea that there's a chance that I can get pulled over for anything or whatever. And, I look at him or whatever. He looks at me. I got my windows rolled up, whatever. So so we take off at the light, and, I'm doing a speed limit or whatever. He gets behind me. Kind of like deliberately gets behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like, he kind of goes out of his way to get behind me. It's like he slowed down and then got behind me, right? And so I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? This guy's from Belmont. I'm in Huntersville, North Carolina. The first thing that came into my head was kind of, what's the issue here? I'm not speeding. My license and registration is up to date. Everything's up to date. What's the issue here? So he gets behind me and he's following me for a couple blocks. I get in the right hand. Not that I was trying to avoid him, but there was traffic in the lane that I was in, so I got over to the right hand lane to get out the way. He got in the right hand lane with me. After the traffic had passed, I got back in the left hand lane. He got back in the left hand lane with me, still behind me, mind you, and on my ass. Like, how it feels to have a cop that's on your ass that looks like he's kind of running your plates and looking in your car and fucking with his computer system to, look your shit up and see if you're legit. So this guy's like on my ass, you know what I'm saying? And I see him just pull up real close to the back of my car, and he's looking in my car and this, that, and the other. I'm looking at him in the rearview mirror, looking in my car and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, he can't pull me over for speeding because we're in the city. And in the city, you're doing all of 50 miles an hour. And I'm not stupid enough to be speeding in the city. That's just dumb, right? Even when I'm in the city, I turn my police radar off because I know me and I know that I don't speed in the city. If you're going to catch me speeding, it's going to be on the highway. So I'm like, whatever. So I know he's not going to get me for speeding. He's not going to get me for registration or inspection or anything like that, keeping my license and my plates up to date. So I'm thinking, what is this guy going to pull me over for if he does pull me over? And then another question kind of came into my head. Considering he's a Belmont, North Carolina police officer, and that's obvious and clear as day on the side of his car, and I'm in Huntersville, North Carolina, does he have the jurisdiction, or is it within his jurisdiction to pull me over for anything like speeding or tints or, my license plate being expired or license being expired? Can he do that? That's a question that I asked, kind of myself in this situation. Long story short, he went ahead and passed me by. I didn't get pulled over. I thought I was going to. He went ahead and passed me by and went on about his business or whatever. So, that was a good thing. Didn't get pulled over there. But that just kind of left the question in my head. And that's a question that I kind of had, for some time, just because I see that so often in North Carolina, in Charlotte. I'll see cops from Huntersville that's in Charlotte. I'll see cops from Concord, Kannapolis, Gastonia, Belmont that are in the Charlotte area. And I have to ask myself, do they have the power or authority to pull you over for speeding or for any car related issue? Now, obviously, if there's a cop that's, going to the grocery store and you're going in the grocery store and it's getting robbed, obviously he has the jurisdiction, I would imagine, to supersede or, supersede whatever jurisdiction he's in and say, hey, listen, regardless of my jurisdiction, I'm still a police officer and I have to defend myself and control this situation. I understand that in a scenario like that. But as far as car related issues, what's kind of the protocol there? Like, do they have the jurisdiction to pull you over? Do they have the jurisdiction to hit you with a ticket? Now, from what I've heard, and I spoke to one of the police officers that's in this club, I'm not going to say his name, but I spoke to him, and he basically said that in the event of something like that, they can't pull you over directly in the sense that they're the ones that's behind you and pulling you over to the side. But what they can do is radio in to the nearest department or the nearest station, police station, and alert them and have them pull you over. Now, I don't know how true that is, just because, you and I both know police officers, and you and I both know that they have a tendency to, in certain situations, abuse their power, just be honest with you. So would that hold up? If I'm doing 70 and a 50 in Huntersville and that Belmont police officer was right behind me, I would imagine he would have pulled me over. Just the way that he was on my ass and it looked like he was running my plates and this, that, and the other, I would imagine he would have pulled me over, to be honest with you. It really looked like he was a situation to where if I messed up, I would have got pulled over. If I took off too hard or didn't switch lanes with my signal on, I would have got pulled over. Just keeping it real with you. That's kind of how I felt in that situation. So that's kind of the question I have for you guys, is that can a police officer from a different jurisdiction pull you over if you're not in his jurisdiction? I spoke to a police officer friend of mine, and he basically said, well, yeah, they can, but they also have to get somebody from that area, a cop from that area, to essentially handle the matters. Like, they can't pull you over and come up to your car like, hey, listen, you were doing 70 and a 50 and here's a ticket. I think it's a situation to where they can follow you and radio in to somebody who's in the neighborhood or in the area and have them pull you over and then go from there. But I guess in extenuating circumstances, like the example that I gave, for instance, if someone is in a grocery store or any kind of store and there's something going down along the lines of, somebody possibly losing their lives, I would imagine any police officer from any state can probably supersede local laws and, enforce it. So that's just kind of a question, man. And has that happened to you? Has anyone from a different jurisdiction or different city or even a different state pulled you over for a driving related issue or an issue period? You know what I'm saying? Whether it be driving related, maybe you missed a signal, a stop sign, something like that. Have you ever been pulled over? And if so, what was the protocol? Did they radio in to somebody from that jurisdiction and say, hey, listen, I got this guy, he just ran a red light, so on and so forth. I need you to send a unit over to handle this as because, I'm out of my jurisdiction. What's the protocol for that? Talk to me and let me know. Has that ever happened to you? I'm just curious myself. Is that possible? And if it is, let me know so that going forward, if I ever see another Belmont cop in Huntersville, you know what I'm saying? 2 hands on the wheel, ass cheeks clenched up. You guys know how it is when you see that cop in your rearview mirror and it seems like he's following you. It's like all of a sudden everything changes. You turn your music down. I do the same thing. For some reason, like that's my first inclination, is to turn the music down as if the cop can hear me. Like I'll turn it down and just like that. You know what I'm saying? But, let me know if that's possible. If it is, tell me a situation in which it's happened to you. I'm just curious myself here, guys. But with that being said, a real quick video, guys, just kind of something that hit me out of the blue, and I thought about talking to you guys about it for the purpose of, educating you guys as well as you educating me. Like, tell me, has that ever happened to you, so that if I'm ever in that situation again, I'll know for a fact, hey, listen, like this guy can legit pull me the hell over. You know what I'm saying? So let me know the deal, man. And with that being said, guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. I don't know if I'm going to have any videos this weekend, man. These past few weekends, I've just been going hard filming and all that good stuff, man. Waking up at the crack of dawn. It seems like our car meets are always at like 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, which sucks if you ask me. I want to get into some night stuff. I want to get into some rolling shots type stuff, getting on the highway and getting kind of crazy type stuff. But it seems like we're only doing like early as hell morning meets, cars and coffees type stuff, which is probably coming up, if not this weekend, the following. weekend, so you know we'll probably go there and check that out as well. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, talk to your boy, answer my question, man, in all seriousness. Like, let me know, because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? We'll go from there. As always, I appreciate you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Have a great one.